Jim Caviezel gained significant recognition for his portrayal of Jesus Christ in the 2004 film The Passion of the Christ. The film was a box office success and received both praise and controversy for its graphic depiction of the crucifixion. Following his portrayal of Jesus, he continued to work in film and television. Some of his notable projects include Frequency, Angel Eyes, The Count of Monte Cristo, and Person of Interest. Here are 10 things you probably didn't know about Jim Caviezel. His first passion was basketball. He was a star high school basketball player in Washington and would go on to play hoops at Bellevue College. However, his basketball career came to an end due to a foot injury during his second year. He then transferred to the University of Washington and turned his focus to acting. He nearly gave up acting. He considered giving up acting at one point in his career after struggling to find success and facing numerous rejections. However, he got a phone call from director Terrence Malick, who directed him in The Thin Red Line. This role opened doors for him and led to more significant opportunities in his acting career, including his acclaimed portrayal of Jesus in The Passion of the Christ. He learned Aramaic for The Passion of the Christ. To accurately portray Jesus in The Passion of the Christ, Caviezel learned Aramaic, the ancient language spoken in the region at the time. He also studied Hebrew and consulted biblical scholars to better understand the character. He suffered multiple injuries while filming The Passion of the Christ. He had a life-threatening experience while shooting The Passion of the Christ. While filming a scene, both Caviezel and assistant director Jan Michelini were struck by lightning. In addition to the lightning strike, he sustained other injuries during production, including a deep gash on his back from an accidental whip strike, dislocating a shoulder while carrying a cross, and suffering from pneumonia and hypothermia from hanging mostly naked on a cross for hours. He also had to have 2 open-heart surgeries after filming Wrapped. Despite the physical toll, he expressed no regrets about his involvement in the film, and he is set to reprise his role as Jesus in the sequel. He wanted to play Superman. He expressed a strong desire to play the role of Superman, Clark Kent, in the film Superman Returns. However, director Bryan Singer decided not to cast him, citing the reason that Caviezel was too famous after The Passion of the Christ. The role went to Brandon Routh. He was originally supposed to be Cyclops in X-Men. He was considered for the role of Cyclops in the X-Men film series, but turned it down to appear in Frequency. The role went to James Marsden. He met his wife on a blind date. He met his wife, Carrie Browett, on a blind date in 1993, orchestrated by his sister Amy. They tied the knot on July 20, 1996. They don't have any biological children, but they did adopt 3 orphans from China, sons Bo David and daughter Lynn. In one interview, he spoke about their decision to adopt the children, expressing the heartbreaking circumstances they faced. He said, "They were abandoned and unwanted. 2 of them had brain cancer. The third one had sarcoma. My wife said it doesn't matter whether children are wanted or not. They are people just like us." She impersonates beauty and kindness. He doesn't do love scenes. He strongly believes in abstinence and feels uncomfortable getting naked on film, citing his faith as a reason. He said, "I don't believe in it. I don't think it's right. In my faith, I'm taught that abstinence is important. You're never gonna see my butt on film unless I'm in the Holocaust, walking around." However, in the movie Angel Eyes, he agreed to a love scene with Jennifer Lopez, but requested that they both keep their clothes on, out of respect for his wife. In The Count of Monte Cristo, actress Dagmara Domincic had a similar experience with him. She said, "Jim took me aside and said, 'You know, I'm married and very faithful.' And I said, 'Jim, it's a Disney movie. I'm not gonna grab your crotch.'" He's been a prominent promoter of QAnon. During a podcast interview on Real America's Voice, he discussed the QAnon conspiracy theory that claims liberal elites consume infant blood to obtain a substance called adrenochrome. He supported the theory, citing biblical references and comparing it to historical instances of oppression and enslavement. Adrenochrome is a pretty core QAnon belief and has anti-Semitic origins. The actor previously explained it at a conference, saying, "Essentially, you have adrenaline in your body. And when you are scared, you produce adrenaline. If a child knows he's going to die, his body will secrete this adrenaline." He also expressed his belief that Donald Trump was chosen by God and compared him to the biblical figure David. He lost his agents and lawyer over Sound of Freedom. In Sound of Freedom, Caviezel played Tim Ballard, a former federal agent who sought to rescue children from sex traffickers. In an interview with Angel Studio CEO Neil Harmon, Caviezel revealed that his involvement in the film Sound of Freedom had a significant impact on his professional life. He disclosed that he lost his agents and lawyer due to his commitment to the movie. He added, "Now I understand why all these actors didn't want to do the movie because of this. Listen, you do Schindler's List 50 years later, you're a hero. Try doing Schindler's List when the real Nazis are right there. Understand how that becomes more dangerous. I don't understand why people are willing to let children be hurt, but in this time, Hollywood says, no, let's kick that down 50 years from now and then. That's crap." Since its release on July 4th, Sound of Freedom has grossed $90 million at the domestic box office, passing the $77.1 million total of A24's Everything Everywhere All at Once to become the highest-grossing independent release since theaters reopened in 2021.